Right, welcome to another episode of the Obstacle Race Magazine podcast. What episode are we on now, Kevin?
I can't remember.
You can't remember?
Is it 6 or 7, something like that?
No, it's
Six.
six. I'm pretty
Six.
sure we're on six. Yeah. Episode 6 of the 10 Minute Tuesday series, which is meant to be your weekly roundup of OCR news, mainly based around the UK. But yeah, so it's been a pretty quiet week. We've had some announcements though, so we might as well jump straight into the news. The big Spartan announcement that we were getting all excited about on the 29th of January turned out to be the Spartan World Champs in Dubai, which we'd already spoke about, which were a bit of a shock for me and Kevin.
Yeah, it's a great announcement that they're going to Dubai in December for the Spartan World Champs, but I think everybody was expecting some big tough mudder revelation, something different to the World Champs, which we already knew anyway. And there's also the announcement they're coming back to Wales in 2020, which is great news again. And I actually thought that was the announcement on the 29th, but it was obviously not with the World Champs.
Yeah, so back in Wales on the 20th and 21st of June, which, looking at calendar, that is an extremely busy weekend to have a race, but it's the Glen Usk estate, which has always been good. I think it was Dirty Dozen. They used to use that location, so it is really good. And obviously Wales, you've got plenty of hills and whatever, and it ties in with the Welsh Year of Outdoors, so it's quite good. They've been able to tie in, I think, with tourist board and other bits and bobs, so they'll have Wales right behind them that weekend to be able to get a few more runners there as well.
Yeah, plus for the thrill seekers out there, it could be a great weekend. I mean, there'd be a lot of miles in store, but you could do Spartan one day, and there's Nuclear, and there's also Feral Fest as well, which Go Feral have been at the last 2 Mid-7s, and they put on some superb events now. So if you wanted to have a whole weekend of adventures, say there's a bit of miles going in between each other, but you can have a great weekend.
Yep, that'd be a whole new meaning to endurance running. But yeah, so we're a little bit anticlimactic, this big Spartan announcement, but it's quite cool because I think it'd be good to go and run in the sand dunes of Dubai, which I'm assuming it's going to be set mainly through sand. It'd be foolish to miss out on such unique terrain. But then we've also, Spartan UK have also announced that they've got an epic announcement coming on the 6th of February. So at least we've got something else to look forward to. For more news, we've got this weekend the first UK Obstacle Sports Federation coaching course took place. Was at Rumble Fitness in Milton Keynes. I think this is probably a good thing, especially for the PTs who work within the OCR arena. It'll hopefully help draw in some clients. I think it is a good opportunity for PTs who do work in and around the OCR arena to actually add to their skill set, and obviously it's qualification that they can put out there.
Yeah, there's loads of great PTs. We know the different groups that run OCRs. There's loads of great trainers out there. So this is just ready to hone their skills, and so there's, I think, a bit more collaboration and joined up thinking behind the training that's got to go into it.
Yeah. I think the feedback as well has been that even the trainers who have been specifically putting lots of hours into clients that are, say, training for the World Championships and stuff, have still really, really enjoyed the actual training itself that's taken place this weekend, and they've learned a lot from it, which is good. So that means there's obviously value in doing the course, which is great feedback. That's exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, we'll have to look on next week's episode. We'll get the dates out to see when the next dates and venues are and put them out to everybody, see if they're interested in going.
Yeah. I think the next 2 or 3 are actually already booked up, but yeah, we'll have to have a look, see when availability is, and let a few people know, because I'm sure they'll be more interested. Next piece of news, World OCR League launch. Now, this is a new league that's coming into the OCR marketplace that's actually aimed at the whole world rather than just one area, rather than just the UK, or because we've had the Obstacle League for quite a long time in the UK. That's always acted as sort of a unofficial UK league racing for the more competitive people to actually take part in. So that's been put together by Nick Taylor Comar, the founder of Octane. It's more like a group of runners, and I think there's quite a lot of emphasis put on mental health awareness and things like that. So
Yeah, we could if they can get tied up with the association as well, so that they are make them official. Because when they have these little independent groups starting up, they're going to struggle to get support, I think, because people don't know where the money's actually going to like when you pay for your entry for these leagues. At least with the Munsticle one, you know you're getting your vest, your insurance, and other bits and bobs. And it's great people come up with us for these ideas, but if you're just an independent, I need to see more of it, see how it's going to work.
yeah, I think federation backing will make a big difference, but it is quite a big investment. The normal price would be £50 to join the league for a year. At the moment, they're doing sort of a special introductory offer for £35, which is sort of one year's membership into the league, and then because there's lots of leagues inside this league, so lots of branches off. So there's the World League, Trophy Hunters League, Fun Runners League, Community League, and then there's also a Race Directors League, which I think it's for the runners to give feedback on events that they've been to sort of give people a general idea of whether the race is worth doing or not.
That could go wrong.
Yeah, just a little bit, because obviously you could get the less honest race directors signing up into the league and giving other race directors bad reviews and what have you. But hey ho.
Plus, racers do have a bias, don't they? They have a bias towards those RDs that they know.
Yeah, definitely. Especially because there's a hell of a lot of teams that are based around being ambassadors for certain races. So, like you say, it does mean they're biased towards those.
How does the Fun Runners League work?
I'm not sure. I'm assuming it's
Amount of events you go to, you get points for each event or something.
yeah, possibly a little bit like the Journeyman
Like a loyalty league.
Possibly, yeah. So like a journeyman would, so you can actually qualify for the World OCR Championships just by completing a specific amount of events. It's probably similar to that. So different events, rather than being competitive, it's just completing as many as you can. Different ones are probably graded at different levels depending on how hard they think they are. So rather than going for positions, you're actually going for doing as many tough events as you possibly can, or something like that. I don't know. I'm really not sure at this stage, but it's literally just in the process of launching. So if you did want any more information on that, then a good place to go would be, so it's WOCRL.org. is the website for more information on that, and I'm sure Nick and his team would be happy to help if you sort of went onto their associated Facebook pages and what have you. There's also discounts as well. By being part of that league, you get 1 or 2 different discounts to different events and the Obstacle Course Racing World Championships and different bits and pieces. So yeah, it's, I think for the more competitive amongst you, it's probably your cup of tea. It just depends whether you want to invest that £35 to £50 in the first place. So yeah, have you got any more news this week, Kevin?
No news, just a thought. While I was walking Leo earlier, was where's the Obstacle Race magazine van? We used to have our own branded up van, which we used to take to all the events. And then at Mud 7 in 2018, we gave it away as a raffle prize. I know it was won by Matthew Boulding, but I think he sort of gifted it onto somebody else. But it'd be great to know if it's still alive, because I don't know why it just popped into my head earlier on. Does anybody know where that van is? Have you spotted it? Send us a picture.
It would be interesting to know where that's gone. That van, I'd certainly had plenty of adventures with us throughout the years we did use and abuse it. And went it the first weekend when it was nice, shiny and new to us, Kevin, that you managed to... You buried it into a ditch straight away, didn't you?
I don't recall that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's photographic evidence anyway. So
it was a boggy field at Pippinford, it wasn't a ditch.
Might as well have been. But anyway, so hopefully someone might know where that's gone, rather than the big scrap heap in the sky. if that's it for the news, so we will go on to the listeners' letters.
You've got mail.
First letter this week we have got from a Richard Smith, and it says, "Hi ORM, for the next podcast, how about discussing the news about Wolf Run being a qualifier for the OCR World Championships? Surely the Wolf Run isn't anywhere near technical enough to be a qualifier. It's a trail run with a couple of climbs and a slide or two. If you qualify at the Wolf Run event, you'll be in for a shock at the Worlds." So what do you think to that then, Kevin?
Man, I live in the Midlands, so Wolf Run is the big event. You can't go down a road without seeing somebody running past in a Wolf Run top, and they get a lot of fun runners again. They don't get the serious runners there, and I think it just shows that they're struggling for qualifiers in the UK this year with events that have sort of dropped off. We've got the big ones left. Spartan have got their own World Championships, so they're not real official qualifiers. Tough Mudder, they've got all their events calendars dates. Total Warrior, Born Survivor. You've got Nuclear, who still have theirs. With Wolf Run, the event is put together so that you can't fail it. It's a bit like Tough Guy, where there are lots of climbs, but there's nothing technical there, like say, to make you fail. There's lots of water, lots of bogs, lots of sort of cold to contend with. But it's still an obstacle race. It's just a different one to the rest. You can't have every event the same with rigs and things. So, yeah, well done to the Wolf Run team for actually getting it on board.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, especially from from the Wolf Run point of view. I didn't think it'd be a route that they'd go down, but there are so many of the community that go to the event that it's obviously a good, in terms of marketing and being able to pull more people in. It's a good idea from that standpoint.
You look at the obstacles; it is a good course to race if you look at it, because it is people really just going at it, clambering over stuff, and you're not caught out by slippy monkey bars or things. There's nothing there where the weather can sort of interrupt it. It's all, every obstacle is achievable.
Yeah, it is a trail run, but it's always been described as that. It's never sort of tried to pretend to be anything else. It's a trail run with obstacles. It's just they are stunning trails to run, so it will be a runner's course, that's for sure. But I suppose it also takes away the element of having to have sort of marshals and
Adjudicators.
Yeah, exactly. Because the obstacles are so straightforward, you don't need so much emphasis being on those sort of people, being there to ensure that obstacles are completed correctly. It should be in a straight through run for anybody. Nothing to actually stop them, nothing to make them have to go back and turn around and do it again, and all these things that are making OCR so complicated at the moment. Retry lanes, bans.
Just you need to make sure that people aren't cutting anything. I've seen before where, because it's not a competitive race, I've seen where people have finished first or second previously, and even when it's not a competitive race, people still like to go out there, run away and claim the win. And I've seen comments from before where some people have maybe missed out a water section because they're not keen on swimming, and there's no penalty like at the Wolf Run if you sort of cut things. So they just need to make sure that every obstacle or every lake has been gone through to be able to claim one of the qualifying places, I think.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. But at least it is, from what I understand, it is only the first wave that's a qualifying wave anyway. But I think it did stir things up a little bit, because I did see a few comments from people who had basically signed up for the first wave before it had been announced as a sort of an official OCR World Champs competitive wave, and who are now wanting to switch into a different wave because it's really not their bag, and they want to basically not feel like they're being watched over, I guess, or don't want to go into that one. But yeah, so I thought that was quite an interesting letter this week in terms of being able to open up a bit of a discussion, because it does make sense. It would pose questions, because someone who could potentially, who is a real good runner, could very easily qualify at the Wolf Run. And then someone who has actually really ran the heart out and taken on some real sort of technical obstacles, it's say Spartan or Nuclear or somewhere like that, and put in a lot of effort to training towards that, would qualify just the same. And in I guess you could argue that they've qualified on a more fitting course. But either way,
I
it's
argue against that. I think that's what makes OCR great, is that all the courses are very different. It is a runner's course, this one. You'll have some courses that suit runners, others support are better for people with the great upper body and the grip strength and everything.
yeah,
But just to clarify, so this is for the Elite Wave on the 5th of April, and it's the top 5 male and females go into the pro category, and the top 20 male and females go into the age category. So there's only 250 places available in the Elite Wave, so don't miss out.
yeah, that's quite cool. I like it. And obviously we've been able to work a little bit more closely with Wolf Run this year as well on subscription packages and what have you. So it has been interesting to see. We've also got some interviews coming up with the boys from Wolf Run, so you can get a bit more of an insight into what they're all about. And I think you'll be interested in their answers and who they are and who's behind the actual race. So look out for the next issue for that one that's coming up a little bit later on in February. So that's it for the letters page this week. So just to fill everybody in terms of subscriptions and what have you, at the moment we're kind of in a position where the virus outbreak in China has sort of set us back a little bit, because it has meant that workers haven't gone back quite as soon as they ordinarily would have done, which has set our timeline back for our race vests and T-shirts that go out with the first issue. So we're kind of waiting on a little bit more information on that. But apart from that, it's still scheduled for February. I've got some good content in there for you. So if you've not subscribed already, make sure you jump on that and get your subscription for, like, at the moment, for a crazy price of about $69.99, I think it is. You can have a Nuclear Racers ticket for Fallout or Rush. You can also have a choice of a Sprint or a Super UK Spartan ticket. There's also Mud 7 to choose from. We've got Only Fools and Horses Pucker Racers to choose from. There's Aztec Race if you're a little bit more into the sort of trail running side of things. So yeah, there's plenty to choose from. So definitely don't miss out on that, because it's a bit of a bargain. Because I think even just the Nuclear Racers ticket on its own is probably about £50. So you're actually paying like £20 for a vest or a race shirt, your subscription, and another race ticket as well that's got an RRP of anything up to about £60. So yeah, it's a bit of a bargain. So don't miss out on that. They're on the obstacleracemagazine.com website. So yeah, I think that's it for the letter this week, Kevin. We had a few, but none that I thought would open up discussion as much as what that one did.
No, it's a good one. Thank you, Richard.
So I think we are actually probably a little bit closer to our promised time. Have you got anything else this week, Kevin?
Just Mud 7, the ticket prices go up on the 1st of March. You've got a couple of weeks left at the current price. They'll go up by £5. So not a huge increase, but it's an increase all the same. So now payday's just come. The first one since Christmas. Get your Mud 7 ticket.
Yeah, definitely. So Mud 7, so just mud7.com for your tickets for that one. So which zones have you announced so far on that one? Sorry, Kevin, can you remind me?
Yeah, still the 5. So we've got Zeus races, we've got Pucker races, Rough events. You put me on the spot again. Well, there's only 5 to remember. Rough
Rocket
events,
Race,
Zeus, Pucker, Hero Challenge, and Rocket Race. How did I forget Rocket Race? Sorry, David and Kerry. And hopefully next week we hope to have an announcement of number 6.
Yes,
and it'll be launched exclusively on the podcast.
And it will be. I'm excited about that one, actually, to be fair, because it's at the moment the lineup we've got there, something that people are actually going to get excited about.
I'm really excited this year, and I can't believe there's only 6 months to go as well. 6 months since the last one. Can you believe it?
It'll soon come around. So yeah, August 8th. Don't forget Coventry, Midlands, mud7.com to get signed up. Right, I think that's it this week then, Kevin. What do you think? That is all done and dusted?
Yeah, all good.
Right, that's it. I'll say goodbye for another week then, Kevin. I'll see you soon.
Adios.
See you later.